collector's edition, which is what another thing we announced. So the collector.
All right, so I'm super.
Hello again, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to Starlog 2. I'm Francis, and with me is Kaori.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, and there's just so much to talk about today.
Where should we even start? So I'm super excited to be on Starlog number 2. If you haven't heard yet, Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness is coming out. We had a release date announcement for June 28th in North America and July 1st in Europe.
Yes. So that's very soon, right? But let's talk about what the announcement was. Let's kind of tell everyone what they get in the collector's edition, which is what another thing we announced. So the collector's edition, yeah, we get a bunch of cool things. We get a special collector's edition box featuring art from Akimon, who is Akira Yasuda. He has done character design for games like Street Fighter and Darkstalkers. He's a very talented guy.
He is so talented. Do you see him at Comic-Con sometimes?
Doing
signings?
I've seen him do signings, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't met him myself, though.
I see.
We also get an 80-page hardcover art book featuring art from the entire Star Ocean series. So that's beginning from Star Ocean 1 all the way to Star Ocean 5.
So this art book that we're looking at, this hardcover art book, is it the same art book that the Japanese audience is getting in Japan?
Yes, it is. It's just the English version of it.
Okay,
so it's the exact same art
perfect.
book in English, and it's the same art book that comes in the Japanese Ultimate Collector's Box.
Awesome. What else are we looking at here?
Yep. So you get, you also get a special edition, collector's edition steelbook featuring the full game, and also it also houses the soundtrack, which features songs, 16 songs. 16. Specifically selected by composer Motoi Sakuraba.
Okay, Mr. Sakuraba's
who's
music.
also a very talented musician,
Sure.
composer. And you also get 8 exclusive art cards featuring illustrations from Akimon once again, featuring characters of the game. And you also get a Pan-Galactic Federation ID card.
So what is the Pan-Galactic Federation? Like, what is that?
So veterans of the series will recognize the Pan-Galactic Federation as this group whose mission it is to bring peace throughout the galaxy. Okay,
that's pretty cool. So you get all these physical items, and aside from that, do you get any DLC items that are in-game as well?
Yes, you do. I'm glad you asked. So for the collector's edition, you get a bunch of in-game DLC that helps you helps you begin your journey into Star Ocean 5. You also get the ability to customize your background battle music.
Okay, I got this. This is the one where people were excited about the Valkyrie Profile series music?
Yes. So if you're a fan of the Valkyrie Profile series, you can actually customize the background battle music in Star Ocean 5 to play battle music from the Valkyrie Profile series. That's part 1 and 2. And also, for the Collector's Edition DLC, you also get the ability to customize the BGM to music from the previous Star Oceans.
So Star Ocean 1 through 4. That's excellent. Before we switch over, look at the character in the middle of the screen. Is that the character that's on Raylia's backpack?
I believe
when she runs around?
Yes, it is. Bushy Broom. The Bushy Broom cincture.
It's really cute.
You want one of those, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
All right. And the gold bunny is on there as well.
The golden bunny.
Yeah, that's a spoiler for later today.
Later.
All right, so where are we at? So if you don't get the collector's edition and you end up getting just like the day 1 version, do you get anything with that?
Yeah, so the day 1 you actually get everything you saw in the previous shot, except for the Star Ocean background battle music.
Okay.
So you get the in-game DLC items to help you in your journey, and also the Valkyrie Profile background battle music.
All right, perfect. So it's not just us that's really excited. I heard that we have a special message from Mr. Shuichi Kobayashi, the producer. Is this right?
Let's play it.
Okay, let's play it right now.
はい、皆さんこんにちは、わざわざ日本からやってまいりました、スターオーシャンインテグリティ&フェイスレスネス、こちらのプロデューサーをやっております小林と申します。先ほどですね、お聞きになられました通り、本作、北米で6月の28日、そして、欧州では7月1日に なんと発売が決まりました。このですね貴重な場をこんな借りて大丈夫なんですかね、借りて、このシリーズ馴染みのあるお客さん、そして新しいファンの皆様に感謝の気持ちを伝えたいと思います。でもちろん僕もですねこの作品のファンの一人で、大ファンです。今年はですねこの、僕が大ファンであるこのシリーズ20周年の、スターオーシャンシリーズ、こちらなので、私にとってこのシリーズにもう一度新しい息吹を吹き込むことは充実をしてますが、何より非常に楽しんでやってます。20周年です。20周年20年もやってます。これからですね新しい旅を皆さんと一緒に、星の海に出かけて、楽しんでもらうわけなんですけれども、僕がですねこの20年前初めてスターオーシャンを楽しんだ時と同じようにこのアクションアドベンチャー、そしてバトル、こちらにですね驚きや楽しみを感じてもらえると非常に嬉しいと思っております。最後に、皆さんこのスターログシリーズ楽しんでいただけているということなんですけれども、今回はですね、私が作ったわけではないです。マーケの皆さんが作ったものですけれども、皆さんにエクスクルーシブなコンテンツ紹介したいと思います。ではですね、スターオーシャンインテグリティ&フェイスレスネスの、バトルシステム、こちらのトレーラーを今ここでなんと初公開したいと思います。本トレーラーも、ぜひね皆さん楽しんでいただければと思っております。ありがとうございます。よろしくお願いします。
You're going to right now.
Well, okay.
All right, guys, that was pretty exciting. So Mr. Kobayashi announced the trailer. He was excited about the 20th anniversary of Star Ocean. And
you can just tell he's a big fan. Like, he's been a fan for a long time.
He does love Star Ocean, and I love his passion. He's so awesome. Didn't you just travel with him?
I did. He actually visited, and he was on a media tour, and I learned a lot from him, a lot about the game, and a lot about his passion for series and the franchise. He's a good dude. Yeah.
Yes, he's been talking a lot about Mr. Kobayashi. Well, right now, before we move on, I hope you guys liked the battle trailer. We have a special announcement from Mr. Sokin. He will type, sorry. He's going to announce the raffle right now, so you just have to type in !raffle, and for 5 minutes, he's going to have this raffle open. And what are we giving away?
We are giving away T-shirts.
What do they look like?
Well, not too. Okay, so it looks like this. So you get a T-shirt with a signet on it. I'm like pointing in the wrong direction. It's the Star Ocean signet that's in the back of our jackets.
And we're giving away 5 of this through our stream today, so just type in exclamation on Twitch only. So please type in !raffle for the next 5 minutes, and you might win a shirt.
Yep. And just so is AZ Gaming, I know he's watching. I noticed you. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say.
What, you noticed him?
I noticed him. He like recognized me somehow. I got you.
Senpai's coming later. We'll announce him in a little bit. But just as you saw in the trailer, you can have up to 7 characters in game. 7 is actually a very magical number in the game.
Yes.
Do you know about 7?
7. You can actually have 7 characters in battle, and it gets pretty crazy, as you saw in the battle trailer.
So let me put that into perspective real quick. Think about your favorite action movie. Mine is either Casino Royale or 7 Samurai per Eric So. So what's yours, Francis?
7 Samurai is probably the perfect choice for this game and also this stream and this show. But mine, I'd have to say, is Die Hard, mostly because of John McClane being the wrong place, wrong time type of guy, type of hero, and his character kind of just did it for me for Die Hard. So, I mean, can you imagine 7 John McClanes on the battlefield?
But there's only one of them.
There's only one.
There's only one John McClane, but I guess both our picks are pretty good. And just to show, the character, one character against tons of enemies, our game is not like that, right?
No, you can play between, so you can have up to 7 characters in battle, and you can switch between 6 of them. And the 6 that you can choose from have their very own distinct kind of fighting styles, so you can play based on your preference.
Right, so if you like to battle up front and dish out brutal damage like a boss, then you can switch between characters like Fidel, Victor, or Anne. And then if you like standing in the back line and raining havoc on your enemies, you can play characters like Emerson, Fiore, or Mickey. And Mickey may be a healer, but she still can dish out pretty sick damage.
I think we talked about her in the last stream about how she's a healer, but she also can, as you saw in the trailer, she was casting fireballs and casting explosions. So it was, she can handle herself in battle.
Yes.
So Anne is actually my personal favorite.
Why is that?
Because she's kind of a brawler and she is like a martial artist. And you saw in the trailer like her knock a enemy up into the air, and when she landed, she like did an elbow move. It was pretty awesome. It's like pretty brutal. Which I like.
She's the one with the green hair with the braids, right?
Yeah. She's got like a little Katniss Everdeen thing going on.
Katniss in the house. So in this game, we should also mention that it's not just about battle where the feature stops.
Yeah, we should talk about how one of the main features of the game is that it's seamless. And that it's not just battle that's seamless, it's also other aspects of the game. So.
Okay, so back to the battle and being seamless, let's talk about the role system. So what is that and how does it affect the battlefield?
Good question. So you know how you can switch between 6 of the 7 characters? So when you're playing one of the 6 characters, how does the rest of your team know how to play the battlefield?
I know.
What is, yes?
Through the battle role system.
Through the battle role system, yes. So as you saw a brief glimpse of it in the trailer when it said strategize with battle skills and roles. You saw a few different roles until it landed on Plant Slayer. And then like quickly after that you saw Fidel slicing and dicing a bunch of plants.
That's
Plant-looking monsters or big trees.
The trees, okay. So that's not even scratching the surface of the different kinds of roles that you can apply to your crew. There's about, I would say, 100 unique roles that can be applied given certain circumstances to help give your entire group the edge.
100 different roles, yes.
Yeah, are we going to get to show this later?
100 different roles? There's too many. It's like it would take the rest of the stream to show them all.
Okay.
But you can, so there's a certain level of awareness in the roles that you can use that you'll need to strategize when you're in battle.
Okay, so like a good action hero, you have to be resourceful. And John McClane,
Like John McClane.
John
Exactly
McClane,
like John
he has
McClane.
gadgets and guns, but you have your battle rolls.
Yes, you do. But speaking of resourceful and resources, what is the reserve gauge? We saw that on the trailer. It was a bar on the right. What does it do?
So the reserve gauge is made up of the points that you've accumulated while you're fighting, and based on how you're doing in the battle. So let's bring up this graphic right here to help explain this. Let's break this down. So the light attack interrupts the strong attack, and since there's a short pause for a strong attack to wind up, how does a strong attack work?
A strong attack, if you can load it up without being interrupted, breaks the guard.
Okay, so then the guard successfully blocks the light attack. So kind of like paper, rock, scissors.
Yes, exactly like that.
Okay.
So when you're actually in battle, you can actually start to notice little nuances in how the animations are for when an enemy is about to attack you. So you can actually become really skilled in anticipating enemy attacks, and if they're going to block, so you can strong attack it and break through. You can actually become skilled in doing that and raise your reserve gauge points.
Right, and of course, you're rewarded based on how you do with points that build up this reserve gauge. But if you're not doing so well, based on the system, you can actually lose points. Is that right?
That is correct. So if you can build up the gauge up to 5 levels, and you can gain certain bonuses to your XP and your full, which is the currency in the game.
Full.
But if you're full, and also SP, based on how full your gauge is. But if you are losing in battle, if you're being interrupted, if your guards are being broken through, you're going to lose some points in that gauge.
Okay, so if you're in trouble, and let's say the entire gauge is not ready for you, can you do a reserve rush?
You can.
Okay.
You can. And each character has their own separate reserve rush, and we're going to see some more later.
Like Ethereal Blast in
Ethereal Blast in
Arcadia,
Arcadia,
right?
which
Like
we
we
saw
saw
in the last
Fidel
one. Yeah.
last time. So, okay, you have to cue me up so we can.
So before that, though, before we get to that,
Announce the winner.
Oh, he's going to announce the raffle.
The winner is Bokari J.
Bokari J,
Bokari
you just
J.
won yourself a beautiful, gray, soft, signet
Signet's t-shirt.
t-shirt.
Star Ocean t-shirt.
Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness
Congratulations.
t-shirt.
Second will be.
Sokin, we'll get back to you soon. We'll
Yeah.
whisper to you very soon.
Before that, though.
Okay.
So before that, though, it's all good and everything to talk about the system, but I think what everyone actually really wants to see is it all in action. So what we're going to do is invite our good friend Adam, Apelk,
Apelk in the house, come on
from
over.
the QA team.
This is-
Hello.
do you guys recognize him? He was
Yeah,
with
I
us
was
on
here
the
a couple of days ago.
other
Yeah.
stream. You're a
And he's
veteran
going to help
now.
us. He's going to play he's going to have some live gameplay for a battle, so we can switch through a bunch of
Switch
the
on
different
in.
characters and see them all in action.
Sounds good. I'm ready to
Okay.
get started when you guys are.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thanks for
How are you
having me.
feeling today?
I'm doing quite well. I
Thank
am
you
ready
for-
to beat up some monsters, bad guys in Star Ocean.
Bad
Let's do it.
guys. Are you ready for my questions, though?
I might be. I will
Okay.
do my best.
Okay,
So while he's playing, ask questions in chat about the battle system, and we'll see how many we can answer.
So, before we get into battle, we should probably make sure everything's set up correctly so that, the roles are set, the skills are set, so
Yeah.
the MP or the AI doesn't just stand there and do absolutely nothing. So if we first go into the skills menu, we can see how you can set your battle skills.
Right.
Basically, each character will have 4 different skills they can have, and they're set to both X and circle for
Yes.
short range and long range. So for example, Fidel has these 4 different moves set up, and depending on how far I am from the enemy,
Right.
I'll be using these moves.
So how do you get those attributes? I know earlier Francis talked about full, which is the currency system. Does it have to do with currency or how well you do in game to get these different skill sets?
Most of these are actually learned by progressing through the game. Actually, you can see on the screen right now that there's a skill book assigned to each of these. So once you obtain that specific skill book, you're able to use it with the character and learn that skill.
Okay.
And then if you obtain multiple copies of the same skill book, you're able to level it up. If you
Okay.
see in the same area, there's a skill level for each. And each time you use a skill book, you'll gain mastery.
Mastery.
Which is sort of like EXP
Okay.
towards the skill.
So once it gets to 100%, then you go to the next one?
Yes.
Okay.
And you'll go up, and that would increase the power of the attack or perhaps the max number of hits.
Okay, very cool. So another thing we talked about earlier is melee attack, people with melee attacks and different types of skill sets. So with Fidel, what is he known for?
Fidel is mostly a melee character, but being the main character, he's kind of more of an all-around sort of a
Jack of all
fighter.
trades.
Yes. So for the short-range attacks, I have a couple of nice things set up that would be good for hitting multiple enemies when I'm real up close to them.
Okay.
But also for the long-range attacks, he does have some where he will actually stand back and shoot projectiles at the enemies.
All
So
right,
he's
cool.
useful in a lot of ways.
Okay,
Adam, move your mic closer.
perfect.
All right.
And do you think you can show us a little bit about the roles that we were talking about earlier,
Yes, so
how the roles work?
In the same way, we would set our roles for everybody. And there's 4 per person, and
Okay.
anyone can equip any
Wow.
role that you have.
War
So
God, I like that one.
out of the 100 roles, War God is a good one.
Yeah.
And as you can see, they each have their own specific factors, which will help you in battle, depending both if you're controlling them or if they're being controlled by AI.
Okay.
So for right now, I have sort of a tank build going on for Fidel here. He has things that will increase his defense, his HP, he'll guard more often.
Right.
And for someone like Miki, I have something that is
Healer,
more,
right?
yeah, her
Yeah,
max
max
MP
hit.
being higher, taking fewer actions for
Holy
foes,
Mother.
and just a sort of an all-around healer sort of build.
Okay.
And then, for example, for Fiore, since she's going to be casting a lot of offensive spells, I have roles that will increase her intelligence, will
Wow.
increase the amount of damage she does, but also, as you can see, increase the amount of MP cost. So there's
There's
a lot
a lot
of
you can do.
trade-off sort of
I like that.
roles where you can you'll get increased damage, but you might also take increased damage.
Right.
Right.
So you really have to kind of strategize for each character on what you want them to do
Neat.
and how you want them to play.
All right, let's play then.
So I have everything set up, and I would like to show firsthand kind of how the battle system works. I'm going to start
Sure.
off playing as Fidel.
Okay.
Cool.
We have a question from chat.
Yes, chat.
What's experience share?
Experience, you will see when the battle ends, there's an experience amount that is given, and that will be the amount that is given to every character, so it is not split.
Good to know. Cool.
And so as you can see here, I'm using a couple of range attacks with Fidel, where he's either shooting a blade or he's charging up, and then he'll charge into the enemy where I can combo into something that's more of a melee
That's
attack.
kind of like a blink attack.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So does the party kind of know what to do at all times? Are you controlling, you're obviously just controlling Fidel, but the party that you assign all the roles, they know exactly what to do based on what you assigned.
Yeah, and as you can see, all the characters are using their own abilities. Even Miki, she'll be healing when she needs to. If there's HP is a certain amount, it has been missing from somebody, or if everyone's at full health, she'll also help out with attacks.
Okay, can we explain to the audience about the items that you obtain? What do you do with all these items that you get?
So you'll get items, well, most like normal items for healing, or something that is to use in battle to have like a spell cast. There's different cards you can use to cast spells, even with characters like Fidel. Or you'll get items that can be used in synthesis. I don't know if you have ever gone over that in other Star Logs, but
Not yet.
there's a whole synthesis
Yeah.
aspect to the game as well.
We'll get to that.
No spoilers for that.
Not yet.
But through battle, you will be able to get a lot of useful items that will help you in creating some pretty cool things.
All right, so can we show them how we change characters in the game? So you're playing as Fidel. Can you switch into a different character while you're playing?
Yes.
Or
While you're in battle.
It is
while in battle?
super easy. You just use the D-pad left and
Yeah.
right, and as you see, I immediately changed
There
to
you
Miki,
are.
and now I can start casting spells on enemies.
Dishing out some
Nice.
sick damage.
She can
Okay.
do some actually pretty good damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her spells do have longer
That's good.
cast times, but they can
Right.
do
It
a lot
does
of
a lot.
damage. They knock down enemies, and they can also add other effects such as lowering some of their stats, like defense or offense. So she does play a good role in both dealing damage and supporting them.
So tell me a little bit about the enemies that we're fighting. What type of enemies are we fighting in this game?
There's a huge range, and as you talked about with the different roles, there's Slayer abilities. So you can see that there's plants, there's demons, there's even a God Slayer
Right.
for certain enemies. But there's a very wide range, and all the models for the enemies are unique to this, and they're really cool.
Do certain characters, are they better to fight certain enemies? Or is it all the same?
What was that?
Like, let's say you find an enemy that's like really hard. By changing your roles or characters, does that help you fight the enemy?
Yes, and especially when you get later into the game and you're fighting the harder bosses. I'm sorry, I have to heal myself. If I'm
okay.
playing Miki, you do
Yes.
have to make sure that everyone stays
She's healing.
alive.
Yeah.
She
But
takes
when-
care
That's
of
her role.
everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you do get into later portions of the game, the roles you'll actually want to switch them out for different battles because
Right.
it's really going to play a big difference just when you kind of analyze the way that the enemy's attacking or the way that the boss is going to be dealing damage to you.
Yeah, I'd imagine
Very
it's really
cool.
important for boss battles.
Yeah.
So I switched back
That's
to
good.
Fidel real quick, but I actually would like to show another character who's the ranged
Okay.
the ranged attacker. He
Sure.
does not cast signatures very much, but
He doesn't.
he can also do some great damage.
Question from the chat.
Yeah.
Hashtag Tiffany's asking how many roles can you assign per character?
Ooh,
It is-
good question, Tiffany.
4 rolls per character, and you can't switch them during battle, but anytime outside of battle, you are able to go into the menu and switch the roles.
And you can switch the roles for Relia too, even though you can't control it.
Yes, and that actually can play a pretty big part in this because there's a lot of like increased EXP rolls or increased fold from battle rolls. So if you can get that for her, you can save up the slots from your other characters to have a little bit more important rolls on them, but still get those bonuses. So
Wow,
I've
what
actually
is
switched
going
to
on?
Emerson.
Who is that?
Emerson. He is our ranged attacker. He uses a crossbow.
That's really cool.
And he kind of stays in the backfield but does a lot of ranged attacks. As you saw in the skill menu, he has both long range and short range attacks. So even if you're up close, you can still use some of his abilities.
Regarding skill menu, do skills gain mastery by using them or just using the mastery books?
They also do gain mastery by using them in battle. And the same with rolls. Rolls can be leveled up by using SP, which is one of the, I guess you could call it a currency that you get out from winning battles. So you
Okay.
can spend SP to level up different rolls, and you can also level them up just by having them equipped on a person and then going into battle.
Okay, so what about, let's talk about the relationships between these characters. So Emerson is friends with Daryl, and they,
Emerson is friends with Anne.
Anne,
Yeah.
your favorite Anne.
Victor and Fidel know Daryl.
Through the
Daryl,
mess.
and that's Fidel's dad.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the story.
Quick question from chat.
Chat.
Chad is asking, how vocal are the characters in battle?
They do have both beginning battle voices and ending battle voices. If I would compare it to something, say, if people have played Star Ocean 2, you know that every time you used an ability with someone, they would shout out the name of the ability.
Yeah.
That is not the case in this game, but there is still some amount of, I think it's a good balance of
For the reserve
voices.
rush, you know she yells
Arcadia!
Which she
That's,
should yell for that. That is important.
Yeah, it
That's
is
true.
quite important. I think that's Kiori's favorite,
I don't know
as you
why.
all can tell.
I love Arcadia a lot.
Yeah.
So then, are we going to see some Anne in action?
I think that is a good
His
idea.
friend
in
Anne?
action.
Your favorite.
She might be my favorite melee. At
Oh,
first,
me too.
At first, I really liked Fidel because he was just so all around. But as you can
Right.
see, the combos from Anne are just—they lock the enemy in. She juggles them up and down,
She's
and you can kind of just
pretty
lay
cool.
into them.
I love
she's
her flips.
Her attack moves just look so satisfying.
Yeah.
Like when you're
So
landing them.
satisfying.
And as you might have noticed,
cool.
hers have a lot more hits to them. She'll be doing
Yeah.
long combos. They do a little bit less damage, but
Right.
over time, it ends up doing quite a bit.
Yeah.
I love Relia too. She's so cute.
Is there a relationship between how many hits, for when you do reserve rush, how many hits happen during the reserve rush?
Reserve gauge, as it gets higher, you're going to see more damage, you're going to see more hits, and depending on the character you use, you'll see different effects. I ran out of MP
So
on
right
Anne.
now it says rush next to Anne's name. That's when you know your gauge is full.
Yes, but just 1 second.
Technical difficult. Oh, there you go. We're
Just
back.
a second. We're
But
back.
yes, as you see, the rush is under her name, so that
Yeah.
means that if I were to execute the reserve rush,
How do you execute that, Adam?
you can do that with a simple R2 circle, and I guess I'll show you right now.
Do it.
Let's do it.
As she is attacking nothing because these
Oh,
are
you
these are very small enemies. It's
so
most
tiny.
effective on a boss where
Got it.
where it has a
It's
lot of
down
HP.
still, yeah.
I unfortunately killed the mob before.
You'll get another chance.
That's
Yes.
okay.
You'll get another chance.
Well, we will fill it back up for you guys.
So tell me about that map in the corner. What are we trying to find here? It indicates where the enemies are at?
Yeah, so as you can see, the little red dots on there are
Mm-hmm.
enemies. There's also, once you unlock it, you can see treasure chests on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then actually, we're going to be going outside in just a second, so we'll see a couple of extra things that show up on the map.
So what type of environments will you be fighting in Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness?
As you can see right now, there are dungeons that are indoors.
Dungeons?
since on the planet it's not quite technically advanced, these ones look a little bit more archaic and
Right.
old, but you'll also see more futuristic settings, and then as you can see when we go outside, there's going to be a variety of terrain such as the snowy mountains. As you saw in the battle demo, there was
Oh, there we are.
plains, and there's also even desert
So we're-
areas.
Wow, so we are in, what did it say,
was in
Soma?
northern-
This is the territory
Northern
of Soma, so
Soma?
it's up in the mountains in the north, and as you can see, quite snowy and cold.
What kind of enemies are those?
These
They
are
look
skeleton soldiers.
skeleton soldiers.
You can have skin and be in the cold like that.
Yeah,
Apparently, they're staying warm by moving around a lot.
that's true.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We're going to announce, sorry for the interruption, the second t-shirt giveaway real fast. Who is the, in 5 minutes. So please put hashtag raffle in Twitch.
Exclamation
Oh, just
point.
kidding. Sorry. Exclamation raffle, and we'll give away another cool shirt. Back to the stream.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know what the stream's favorite character is so far. I'm enjoying Anne
You are
particularly.
enjoying Anne. I have a request, though.
Yes.
About somebody else in a little bit. You tell me when to move forward to the blonde guy.
Oh, Victor. I actually enjoy playing him as well. Let's move over to him and see how he's going on. I think
Yeah.
we actually have a special spotlight for Victor.
Do we?
Do we want to show
Is
that
it an
right now?
exclusive?
It is an exclusive.
I think we'll show an exclusive
Let's do
Victor
it.
spotlight.
do
Alfie?
it.
Right now.
Allow me to help. My name is Victor Oakville. I'm a soldier with the Rasulian army.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Fidel Camuse.
Camuse, I knew it. Those techniques had to be the same as Daryl's.
So, I gather you must have studied under my father in the army.
I did. I envy you. How nice it would be to call that man father to his face.
Where in the world are we?
We're near the northern territory of Soma.
How do you know that?
I grew up around here. Many of the best soldiers and mercenaries come from Soma, as its harsh climate helps prepare them for tough situations.
The way you say that implies that you think you're one of the best soldiers in the world.
That was never my intention.
Don't worry, I would never actually take it that way. I just think it's cute when you get defensive about stuff.
I know your skills are formidable, but do not let your guard down. This whole mission is predicated on our victory. Resonance of both mind and body calls forth untold strength. Divine Wrath! I'm a soldier, and I'm obligated to protect my country and fellow officers.
Thank you, Mr. Soldier.
So that was really cool. Victor is such a popular character, and I haven't seen the chats yet, but do you know whose voice that is, guys?
That is Crispin Freeman.
Crispin Freeman is
Crispin
so
Freeman.
popular,
Yeah.
so having that deep man-like
Manly
voice. Manly
Yes, he has a deep manly
It's
voice.
such a great
He is,
voice.
deep like man. Yes. Yeah, he's a really great voice actor, and it was awesome to have him
Yeah.
play Victor. Brings a lot of clout to the character.
I believe
Yeah.
so.
So since Daryl kind of taught both Victor and Fidel about swordsmanship and like,
Yeah.
how to combat, he's kind of a father figure to both of them, right?
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of story there to play around with.
A lot of relationship building.
Yeah.
Now, last time on Starlog 1, we talked a lot about responsibility and protecting each other. So Victor acts like a protector.
Yeah. Victor is a very honorable man. You can kind of tell by the way he handles himself in that trailer and by the way he speaks. And he's also a very proficient swordsman, just like Daryl and Fidel are.
Yep.
And you can kind of tell by the way you saw his reserve rush, which is called Divine Wrath.
Okay, so Relia calls him Mr. Soldier.
Yeah.
And it's really cute. And how does Victor being a soldier translate? You said he is honorable, and he does, he helps everybody. And he also transitions into.
I think the first time you meet him, he's actually helping you. We saw you saw the portion in the beginning of the trailer where he helps out Fidel and Miki on the beach.
Oh, that's right.
So he's just that type of guy.
Okay. Remember in the last Starlog, this is where you talk,
So
I think.
just to round out the rest of the group, let's switch over to Fiore.
Fiore first. Okay.
But right.
Raffle
Sorry,
time?
raffle time. Okay, let's announce a winner.
Mr. Jazz Hands wins
That
a
is the
T-shirt.
best name.
We love you, Mr. Jazz Hands.
Wow, Mr. Jazz Hands.
That's very cute.
Congratulations.
Oh, you
You won a
just
T-shirt.
jazzed yourself into a shirt.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Congrats. So
Okay.
we'll switch over to Fiore,
Fiore
but
time.
we'll get into her battle right after we show a spotlight.
One more
Philadelphia.
spotlight, please.
Who might she be?
This is Lady Brunelli, a signaturge from the Kingdom of Languedoc.
Lady Brunelli, is it?
Fiore Brunelli. You can just call me Fiore.
She is one of the most knowledgeable researchers at the Royal Institute of Signatory Studies. Languedoc so kindly dispatched her in response to our own king's request for aid.
What? You work at the Royal Institute? That's amazing! You're the envy of signaturges the world over.
I'll provide backup, so cut him to pieces.
So this is it. Storied capital of signaturgy.
I don't want you getting lost, so stick close, okay?
There's one here, another there. Signets are everywhere around the city.
You've got some keen eyes there. Legions of signaturges study here to enter the Royal Institute, and there are just as many shops that cater to their needs. So you could empirically say this bustling metropolis was built upon and lives off of signaturgy.
Amazing, stunning, unreal. Not in my wildest dreams did
I never knew having my motherland praise could elicit such feelings in me.
I'll pick him off with signaturgy, but I'll need cover. We are a bunch of fools who are too stubborn to accept eternal ruin. Keep that underlying principle in mind. Final dystopia.
I'm hardly of that high caliber.
No. You truly are.
Wow. So that was awesome. Just remember the last Starlog when we showed you that that screenshot of Languedoc with that magical kingdom with the blue signet on top of it.
Yeah.
That's where Fiore's from.
That makes sense.
It does.
It totally does.
I have a question for you.
I hope I can answer it.
I think you can. What is signaturgy?
Oh man, I knew it was coming. So signaturgy is a magic that's indigenous to the planet of fake greed. I memorized that.
Wow.
That was really hard.
Cool.
But signets are engraved on a person's body, and it allows you to do magic. So anybody who has signaturgy on themselves are called signaturges, right?
Signatures, yes. So Miki is a signaturge as well, and she has the ability to heal, so she must have healing signets. Yeah. Right? Amongst others, right?
Amongst others. Okay, that's my cue. So amongst others, sorry, Fiore also has signets on her that allow her to cast high damage spells like the one you just saw in the trailer. This one was called Final Dystopia.
Yeah. Final Dystopia. So,
Can you do that for us?
oh, no, it's okay. So we're actually going to say bye to Adam. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until the end of the podcast, end of the show.
I wanted
Sounds
him to
good.
stay with us.
That's it. He'll come back.
Will you
He'll
come back?
I'll be back in
Okay.
just a couple of minutes.
Okay, for Final Dystopia.
Yes.
Okay. See you soon.
So, Fiore as a character, though, like, what is she like?
I think Fiore is very smart. So she's a scholar. Is that correct?
Yes.
I think she's a
She's a
scholar.
scholar, yeah.
So they're really smart. So she does research, is part of her signaturgy, and Languedoc is a kingdom of scholars. And she's known as a highly regarded signaturge and aids the crew. But I don't want to get into spoiler territory, so I should
please
keep
don't.
it as
Let's
that.
not spoil everybody. That's fair enough. So, but in the spotlight, you did see a good portion of Languedoc, the inside of Languedoc, where Fiore is from. The magical kingdom that we noted in our last Starlog. So let's just cut to some footage of Languedoc and get a better look at it on the inside.
Look closely there. Oh.
Wow, so that was nice, right? Did you all?
Did you look closely?
Did you look close? I
There
hope
was,
you guys all
there was a
caught
point to that.
the bunny that was just
That's
hopping around in
right.
Languedoc. Pretty cool. So it's a very magical place where bunnies hop around. Big, huge bunnies hop around.
Welcome to Languedoc, where bunnies hop around.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
So now that we know what signaturgy is, you can kind of wait. We'll go back to the raffle in just a second. But we can reveal that Languedoc is a great signaturgical power
yes.
on the
yeah.
planet.
It's great to know. And take a break and we'll announce that we're going to give away 2 more shirts.
2 more shirts right now.
So, exclamation point raffle in chat for the last shot at getting shirts.
No,
right?
we'll do another
Oh, one more actually. Sorry.
So there's 3 more
Four
shirts?
Got it.
Gotcha. So we're doing 2 shirts, and then we'll relax for a little bit and talk more about signaturgy, and then we'll give you another shirt. Cool.
Sounds good.
All right.
So if you're all just joining us though, we showed a bunch of stuff. We showed the
Battle.
the battle system trailer with a special message from Kobayashi-san. I hope you all
Kobayashi-san.
liked that. That was
Yes.
awesome. We showed what? Well, we showed the Victor spotlight. We showed the
Fiore
spotlight. We showed you the inside of Langdock.
And bunnies. I knew you were going to say
Jinx, which is awesome. So if you guys missed any of that, you can all go to staroceangame.com after this and kind of view all the videos that we just saw in fine detail.
And Square Enix NA YouTube for more videos. All right, so now is this your favorite part?
This is my favorite part. So before we finish up the stream, we always want to answer some questions that are coming at us from social media.
Yes,
from you
social
guys,
media.
Because the show is all about talking to you guys, making sure we're answering your questions and everything like that. So,
all right.
What questions do we have?
Last week we went to social media, to Twitter and Facebook, and I got a question from Tobias Seeger. He asked, will character recruitment be like Star Ocean 1 and 2, where you have to achieve some goals to unlock specific characters, but have to miss out on others, or is it a fixed set of characters?
Yeah.
And we know the answer because we played today, right?
Yeah, as you saw, it's at the bottom of the screen. There's 7 characters, 7 fixed characters that come in and out of your party as you adventure through the story.
But when you're playing the game, do you get all those characters from the very start, or do you meet them as you go?
Yeah, so it's you meet them as you go.
Okay.
And they join you as you go, and sometimes they leave and come back based on what's happening in the story.
All right, so that answers it, Tobias. Number 2 question from Sean Andrews asked, is the game going to have separate storylines with the male and female lead and the multitude of endings like Star Ocean 2 with characters?
Yeah. So what we can say about that is that there are multiple endings.
Yes.
There are multiple endings, kind of a staple for Star Ocean. There is only one main protagonist that you play. So the storyline is one storyline, but there are multiple endings.
Is it safe to say that changes based on the way you play your battle rules or your battle systems, or is it how you interact with other characters?
I'd say the latter.
Okay.
Yes. More
Very cool.
around that, but we'll get into that later.
Yes, more on a future Starlock. All right. So those are my favorite 2 questions from today. That's going to do it, right, for Starlock number 2?
That is going to do it for Starlock 2. Let's cut to the
Raffle
winners.
time?
2 more shirts.
Okay. 2 raffle winners.
Hold on.
Drum roll.
First winner. Soul Cross.
Soul Cross. You just won yourself a gray, soft t-shirt with a signaturgy symbol on your left chest.
On your left chest. Well, the left portion of your chest.
Yes.
You get a signet.
And number 2?
Number 2 is Pike 92.
Pike
number
92.
No, just Pike 92.
Just Pike number 2. Pike 92, you just won yourself a t-shirt, so please check your message from Soken, and you might have got yourself a nice shirt.
And then the next
and one more?
Raffle.
Last raffle.
450 in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
The last raffle is in 3 minutes.
Keep it going.
But before we go,
what
else do we have? Any last closing words?
Pretty much going to do it, except we do have one last thing to announce, and I'm just going to give you the honors.
The honors?
You have the honors.
Okay, guys, in a couple of weeks, or not even a couple of weeks, in a few days, we will be at PAX East in Boston. We will have a booth there where you can play Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness for your very self. Like, you don't have to watch my lovely friend Adam play.
Let's
you
bring
can
Adam back
jump
in.
Come back in,
back.
Adam. You can jump in with Adam, with me, and with Francis to play Star Ocean, as we will all be there. Also, if you're there, we are, come on, closer.
I'm trying.
I am part of the Square Enix members team, interactive team. We will be giving away a beautiful lanyard with Final Fantasy characters on it too. We support all of our other titles, so definitely come on by.
Yep, we hope to see you all there. I'll be there. I'll be on the floor every now and then.
Every now and then. Where will you be?
You can mark,
At other panels or something?
Yeah,
Signing autographs?
I'll be around. No.
No?
I'll be around though. Yeah, so just to let you all know, the next Starlog will be in May, early May. But until then, the next Starlog will actually go over some gameplay mechanics, things we talked about a little bit today about the synthesizing and item creation, things like that.
Early May, right?
Early May.
Around May?
Yeah, and we will also talk about, we'll unveil 2 new characters again.
Ooh,
Yep.
I think I know who they are.
Do you?
Uh-huh.
It's probably
Do you know who they are?
process of elimination is only 3
Yes.
left, right?
Yes.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure you do. So yeah, we'll talk about gameplay. We'll unveil 2 new characters, and we might have another surprise for you. But
We like
until
surprises.
then,
I'm excited.
yeah, Adam's
Are you?
excited. If Adam's excited, then you all should be excited as well.
Anna, what's your favorite part about Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness? Because you play this game every day, right? You like.
I do play it every day, and I do enjoy it.
It's his job to play this game.
Don't tell him that.
It's crazy. Right?
I think that just kind of the expansiveness of being able to not only go through the story and have see all the characters, but actually customize them in the way they are. I really like the customization, and all the Star Oceans have kind of been like that.
And you
where-
have played all the other Star
Yes,
Oceans,
I
right?
actually have.
So what does this Star Ocean do that no other Star Ocean has ever done before?
What does it do? I believe that it kind of fine-tunes the battle system in a way that kind of makes it more modern, but also kind of keeps some of the same elements that you'll feel familiar with if you played other Star Oceans, and I really like that part.
That's good to
that's
hear.
great. Good to know.
But I hope everyone is looking forward to the next Starlog. The synthesis is a really cool part of the game too, and I'm excited to hear more about that.
So here's a test. What space state are we in Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness?
Oh man, my lore is not very good.
Do you know?
Space Date 537.
Oh, done like a product
All right.
manager right there.
I'll leave him to all the story elements.
Awesome.
yeah.
So we got one more raffle?
We do. Let's give away one last
One more?
T-shirt, everybody.
He's looking.
Drum roll again. It's very dramatic.
I know, man.
The t-shirts are comfy, so
They are.
We can start playing a little bit more.
Oh, do you
before
want to play a
we
little
sign
bit
off.
more?
I can give a little bit more.
Okay.
We didn't quite see Fiore, so
I know. I would
let's,
love to see her crazy reserve rush move.
I hope I have a gauge filled up so that I can
What's it called
show
again?
it.
Final
Dystopia.
Dystopia.
But most of her spells just have really cool graphics. As you can see, giant ice balls. Here comes a tornado. There's a lot to see.
Wow, what was that?
That was actually Victor's move. He has a dragon that comes out of his sword. So
I wish I can do that.
a lot of the
Dragon
moves
that
have
just
really cool
automatically comes out of
graphics.
my sword.
Let's see that reserve rush.
All right, let's see if I can get this going. We do have a very small bar. It may still work. Final Dystopia.
Oh, Final
Not quite
Dystopia.
the full. If you have the higher reserve rush, you'll actually see the cutscene for it. But we
Yeah.
still do get the
Okay.
damage, as you can see. 35,000 wasn't too shabby.
Okay, there was a
everyone
question
died,
earlier.
so-
Do you remember about the gauge?
Oh,
What
yes.
was that question about the gauge?
There was a question about the reserve rush gauge about it. You obviously can increase it by attacking and blocking and breaking guards, but the question was,
lose it?
can you
Was that
lose?
question? Yeah.
Yes. And which, if you are subject to any of the losses in the rock, paper, scissors, your reserve gauge will go down.
Okay.
And since I have no gauge at the moment, I can't purposely show you, but it will actually shatter, and you'll hear that it has broken a little bit, and you'll lose a little bit. You'll never lose the entire amount,
thing, okay.
but it is best to try and pay attention to the way that enemies are acting, so that you can, as you can see, this enemy next to me was guarding
I
right
have
now, and
one
I
more
just
question.
broke it.
So combos.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you're hitting, I see like the numbers consecutively growing. What kind of combos can you do? Like, does it do anything when you hit continuously like that?
There is, I think it can actually affect the way that the reserve rush gauge increases or decreases. As far as a damage bonus or anything like that, I don't believe that you get anything. There's also in-game achievements, so if you can kind of challenge yourself and try and get a really big thing, you can set a record in your own
Okay,
save.
that's fun. Very neat.
But
Do you have any other questions in the chat that we can answer right now before we sign off?
Will all trophies be in this game like the last game had?
there are both the normal PSN trophies as well as the in-game battle trophies. So as I mentioned, there's one for combos, there's one for consecutive critical hits. I think actually when I used the reserve rush, I unlocked
You did?
the one for defeating 4 enemies at once.
At the same time.
And there's different levels, so if you defeat more, you'll get higher trophies.
Just repeat my question because
Oh,
The question was, are there in-game battle trophies like there were in past Oceans, which there are.
the answer is yes.
another question was, are there costumes in the game?
Oh, question is, are there costumes in the game?
As far as I know, these are the only outfits that the characters have. Maybe look forward to something else that comes in the future. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Is Victor a dual blader?
He does only use one sword, but in some of his moves, it appears as though he sometimes may be using his hilt to actually attack.
I think that's it's his hilt on his other hand. So it looks like a sword, but it's just him holding his hilt.
It's tricks. Eye tricks.
Cool.
Very cool.
Are we just about ready?
We're just about ready, but thank you for joining us today on such short notice. What was that? One more raffle?
No, when you're done with that.
Yep.
Okay, so when we're done with this battle, we're gonna announce the next winner. Ooh. Whoa.
Victor's skills look really cool.
Yeah, I think
like
he
it,
has some of the more flashy skills out of everyone.
It's very colorful, the world.
Especially on the white snow
Yeah,
background.
white snow.
The fire
yellow
and ice
fire,
clash quite
pink
nicely.
magic.
Cool.
Okay.
There you
All
have it,
right.
guys. Adam, thank you for joining
Thank
us.
you, Adam.
problem.
We're
Thank you for
going
having
for
me
real
again.
this time, but before we go, we're gonna give away one last T-shirt.
All right.
So who's our
Who
winner?
is the winner?
Winner
Winner.
is Flash Strife.
Ooh, I
Flash
like your name,
Strife.
Flash Strife. You
Congratulations.
just won yourself a great shirt.
And also
Congratulations.
Star Ocean signature.
Signet
call it.
shirts.
Congratulations. So that's us signing off. That's it for today.
Thank you,
everyone for
guys.
joining. Until next time, early May is the
Starlock
next
3.
Starlock
3.
Thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next time.
See